Welcome back to Shin Before Sin. Today's topic is all about Jews in American history.
The first person that we will be discussing is Abraham Joshua Heschel. Abraham Joshua Heschel was born in Warsaw, Poland in 1907. He got his education from the University of Berlin and the College for the Science of Judaism. He moved to America where he studied at the Hebrew Union College in Cincinnati, Ohio, before assuming the post as the chairman of Jewish Ethics and Mysticism at Jewish Theological Seminary of America in New York City, a post that he held for the rest of his life. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, he sought to evoke in the 20th century man the inner depth of devotion and spontaneous response that he discerned in traditional Jewish piety. He was very active in areas that he believed in. He participated in many civil rights marches. He even marched next to MLK. He also helped unite Jewish Americans and the Catholic Church with a document that was approved on October 28, 1965, after intense debating. According to America, the Jesuit Review, this document helps cement the idea that the other religion is in the core of the other one's own identity.
The next influential person we will talk about is Joachim Prinz. Joachim Prinz was born on May 10, 1902. He was a German-American rabbi who was against Nazism. As a rabbi in Berlin, he was forced to confront the rise of Nazism and immigrated to the United States in 1937. He was a big part in the civil rights movement. Dr. Prinz devoted much of his life in the United States to the civil rights movement. He saw the plight of African American and other minority groups in the context of his own experience under Hitler. He also spoke at the March on Washington. I believe that a good quote from his speech is, "As Jews, we bring to this great demonstration, in which thousands of us proudly participate, a twofold experience, one of the spirit and one of our history."
The next person we will talk about is Francis Salvador. He was born in 1747 and he died in 1776. He was the first Jew to be elected to a public office in the British Empire, and he was also the first Jew to be elected to an American colonial legislature. Francis Salvador was the only Jew to serve in the Revolutionary Colonial Congress. Finally, he was the first Jew to fight and die in the Revolutionary War. According to Jewish Virtual Library, Salvador was born in London, where he spent most of his early life. In 1773, he moved to South Carolina with the intent for sending for his wife and children. When he arrived in Charleston, South Carolina, he used his family's wealth to set up a plantation. Salvador found himself drawn to the revolutionary movement in America. When he was 27, he was voted into the General Assembly of South Carolina. In 1774, he was elected as a delegate to South Carolina's Revolutionary Provincial Congress, which was the group that laid out the foundations for the Constitution. He never saw his wife or children leave England. On July 1st, 1776, Francis was shot defending South Carolina. Salvador was the first Jew to die in the Revolutionary War and most likely never found out that the Declaration of Independence was adopted, which he had urged the nation to adopt.
Lastly, I'll be talking about Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein is one of the most monumental scientists in human history. Born in Germany, Einstein pursued a career in physics and mathematics, according to Nobelprize.org. Einstein discovered flaws in the Newtonian laws of physics, and this is how he came upon his most famous discovery, the theory of relativity. He published an essay on this newfound theory, called General Theory of Relativity, in 1916. His investigations into the temperature of light resulted in the photon theory of light, and surprisingly, according to My Jewish Learning, it was this work, and not his theory of relativity, that earned him the Nobel Prize in 1920. Einstein's faith played an important role in his scientific beliefs. In a debate surrounding determinism, or the theory that everything that happens in the universe is determined by a prior chain of actions, Einstein expressed a distinct belief that every event that occurs has a purpose, and was quoted saying, "God does not throw dice." Einstein was also certain that science and religion were meant to coexist, saying, "Science without religion is lame, religion without science is blind." The author also said something that I found very interesting, which is that Einstein argued that a fear or moral-based understanding of God ran contrary to modern science. This struck a chord with me because this is a very prominent idea in Reform Judaism. We believe science, and we don't let our views on God get in the way of scientific reality, like evolution or climate change. Despite his immense improvements to the world of science, Nazism proved to be a difficult opponent for Einstein. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, the Nazis targeted Einstein for his Jewish identity and went so far as to call his works Jewish physics. The tension escalated when a Nazi-affiliated organization printed a magazine with a cover consisting of Einstein's portrait and a caption, "Not yet hanged," with a price labeled on the head. In 1933, at the dawn of World War II, Einstein fled to the United States, escaping imminent danger. Soon after his arrival, speculation arose that Einstein's theory of relativity could be used to create an atomic bomb. At this news, Einstein contributed to a letter sent to President Roosevelt requesting future studies on the topic. Roosevelt agreed. As the Second World War pushed on, Einstein became a profound pacifist and aided in the fight for African American rights. In his later life, Einstein had what many may consider an existential crisis, in which he became obsessed with discovering a unified field theory, which would, all in one, explain the forces of the universe. These works were never completed. Einstein died on April 18, 1955, of an aortic aneurysm. However, his accomplishments left an immense footprint on the world.
As you can see, Jews have contributed to American history, from going to the Revolutionary War to the Civil Rights Movement, even in science. Thanks for tuning in to Shin Before Sin. See you next week.